Have you ever met someone who made you feel like you were floating on cloud nine without taking a single substance? Someone whose presence alone seemed to alter your brain chemistry and leave you craving more of their company? Well, chances are you've encountered an INFJ, one of the rarest personality types in the world. Today, we're diving deep into why being around these mysterious individuals can feel like a natural high that's both addictive and transformative. 1. The INFJ phenomenon. Understanding the rarest personality type. Let's start with the basics, folks. INFJs make up only about 1 to 3% of the population, which means they're rarer than finding a four-leaf clover in your backyard. These individuals are known as the advocates or the counselors in the Myers-Briggs type indicator system, and there's something absolutely magnetic about them that draws people in like moths to a flame. What makes INFJs so special? Well, they're introverted but incredibly insightful, intuitive but grounded in feeling, and they possess this uncanny ability to see right through to your soul. It's like they've got some sort of superpower that allows them to read between the lines of human behavior and connect with people on levels that most folks can't even imagine. When you're around an INFJ, you'll notice something different almost immediately. There's this sense of being truly seen and understood, not just heard, but genuinely comprehended in ways that make you feel like you're the most important person in the room. It's intoxicating, really, and that's where our drug analogy begins to make perfect sense. 2. The dopamine rush. How INFJs trigger your brain's reward system. Here's where things get scientifically interesting. When you interact with an INFJ, your brain starts releasing dopamine, the same neurotransmitter that's involved when people experience pleasure from various substances. But here's the kicker. This happens naturally, without any external chemicals involved. INFJs have this remarkable ability to make you feel validated and understood. When they listen to you, and I mean really listen, not just wait for their turn to talk, your brain interprets this as a reward. You feel heard, appreciated, and valued in ways that trigger your dopamine pathways, just like winning a game or achieving a goal would. The crazy part? This isn't something INFJs do intentionally. It's just how they're wired. They genuinely care about understanding others. And when they focus that laser-like attention on you, it creates an almost euphoric feeling. You walk away from conversations with them feeling energized, inspired, and oddly fulfilled, much like how someone might feel after a natural high from exercise or accomplishment. 3. The serotonin connection. Why INFJs make you feel so darn good. But wait, there's more. INFJs don't just trigger dopamine. They also have this incredible ability to boost your serotonin levels. Serotonin is often called the happiness chemical because it's responsible for feelings of well-being, contentment, and overall mood stability. When you're around an INFJ, you'll notice that conversations tend to go deeper than surface-level chit-chat. They're not interested in talking about the weather or what you had for lunch, though they might if that's what you need in the moment. Instead, they naturally steer conversations toward meaningful topics that make you think and feel more deeply about life. This depth of connection releases serotonin because humans are naturally wired to seek meaningful relationships and profound conversations. INFJs provide this in spades, creating an environment where you feel safe to be vulnerable and authentic. It's like having a therapist, best friend, and life coach all rolled into one person. And who wouldn't feel good about that? 4. The oxytocin effect, building bonds that feel unbreakable. Here's where the drug analogy gets even more interesting. INFJs are masters at creating what psychologists call oxytocin moments. Those instances where you feel deeply connected to another person. Oxytocin is often called the bonding hormone or love hormone because it's released during physical touch, emotional bonding, and moments of trust and intimacy. INFJs don't need to touch you to trigger oxytocin release. Their emotional intelligence is so high that they can create these bonding moments through their words, their presence, and their uncanny ability to understand what you're going through. They make you feel like you're not alone in this crazy world. And that feeling of connection is powerful stuff. Think about it. When was the last time someone made you feel truly understood without judgment? When someone listened to your deepest fears or wildest dreams without trying to fix you or offer unsolicited advice. That's the INFJ effect in action, and it creates bonds that can feel almost supernatural in their intensity. 5. The withdrawal effect. Why you crave more INFJ time. Now here's where the drug comparison gets a bit uncomfortable, but also incredibly fascinating. Just like certain substances can leave you wanting more, spending time with an INFJ can create a kind of emotional dependency that's both beautiful and potentially challenging. After meaningful interactions with INFJs, many people report feeling a sense of emptiness or longing when they're apart. It's not that other relationships become meaningless, but there's something about the depth and authenticity of INFJ connections that makes regular social interactions feel shallow by comparison. This isn't necessarily unhealthy. It's more like how you might feel after eating an amazing meal at a 5-star restaurant and then having to go back to fast food. The contrast is stark, and you find yourself craving the higher quality experience again and again. INFJs often report feeling drained after intense social interactions because they give so much of themselves in these exchanges. Meanwhile, the people they've connected with are left feeling energized and wanting more of that magical understanding and acceptance. 6. The mirror neuron magic. How INFJs reflect your best self. Here's something that'll blow your mind. INFJs have this incredible ability to activate your mirror neurons in ways that make you feel like the best version of yourself. Mirror neurons are brain cells that fire both when we perform an action and when we observe someone else performing that same action. They're crucial for empathy, learning, and social connection. When you're around an INFJ, they don't just listen to you. They reflect back your emotions and thoughts in ways that help you understand yourself better. It's like looking into a mirror that shows not just your physical appearance, but your inner landscape as well. They help you see your own thoughts and feelings more clearly, which can be incredibly validating and enlightening. This mirroring effect creates a feedback loop that feels almost magical. You share something personal, they reflect it back with understanding and insight. You feel validated and understood, which makes you want to share more, and the cycle continues. It's like having someone hold up a mirror to your soul and show you all the beautiful parts you might have missed on your own. 7. The emotional regulation high. Finding peace in INFJ presence. One of the most drug-like effects of being around INFJs is how they can help regulate your emotions without even trying. They have this calming presence that can soothe anxiety, ease depression, and bring a sense of peace to chaotic minds. It's like they emit some sort of emotional stability field that affects everyone around them. This happens because INFJs are naturally attuned to the emotional states of others. They can sense when you're upset, anxious, or struggling, and they instinctively know how to respond in ways that help you feel better. They're not trying to fix you or change you. They're simply creating a safe space where you can process your emotions without judgment. The result? You walk away feeling more balanced, centered, and emotionally regulated than you did before. It's like they've helped reset your emotional thermostat, bringing you back to a state of equilibrium that feels both natural and incredibly relieving. 8. The creativity boost. How INFJs unlock your innovative side. Here's something fascinating that many people don't realize. Being around INFJs can actually boost your creativity and innovative thinking. They have this way of asking questions and making observations that open up new pathways in your brain, leading to aha moments and creative breakthroughs. INFJs see connections that others miss. They notice patterns, possibilities, and potential that might be invisible to more concrete thinkers. When they share these insights with you, it's like they're giving your brain permission to think outside the box and explore ideas you might never have considered on your own. This creative stimulation can feel like a natural high because creativity is inherently rewarding to the human brain. When you have those moments of inspiration and innovation, your brain releases a cocktail of feel-good chemicals that make you feel alive, energized, and excited about possibilities. 9. The validation drug. Why INFJ acceptance feels so powerful. Let's talk about something we all crave, but rarely get enough of: genuine validation. INFJs are masters of providing this, and the effect can be almost intoxicating. They don't just tell you what you want to hear. They see the real you and validate your experiences, feelings, and perspectives in ways that feel authentic and meaningful. This validation is powerful because it's not conditional. INFJs don't validate you because you've achieved something or because you're acting a certain way. They validate your inherent worth as a human being, your right to feel what you feel, and your unique perspective on the world. This unconditional acceptance can be incredibly healing for people who've spent their lives feeling misunderstood or judged. The brain interprets this validation as a signal that you're safe, valued, and accepted, which triggers the release of various feel-good chemicals. It's like getting a neurochemical hug that tells you you're okay, just as you are, and that feeling can be absolutely addictive in the best possible way. 10. The intuitive connection. When minds meet without words. One of the most drug-like aspects of being around INFJs is their incredible intuitive abilities. They often seem to know what you're thinking or feeling before you've even fully processed it yourself. This creates moments of connection that feel almost telepathic, like your minds are syncing up in ways that defy logical explanation. These intuitive moments release powerful neurochemicals because they make you feel truly understood at a level that goes beyond words. When someone gets you without you having to explain yourself, it creates a sense of relief and connection that's hard to replicate in other relationships. INFJs pick up on subtle cues, your body language, tone of voice, the things you don't say, and they piece together a picture of your inner world that's often more accurate than what you might share verbally. This intuitive understanding can feel magical and create bonds that seem to form instantly. 11. The philosophical high. Deep conversations that change you. INFJs love deep, meaningful conversations about life, purpose, spirituality, and the human condition. These aren't just casual chats. They're explorations of ideas and concepts that can literally change how you see the world. Engaging in these conversations triggers what psychologists call intellectual euphoria, the high you get from learning, growing, and expanding your understanding. When you discuss profound topics with an INFJ, you're not just exchanging information. You're co-creating new insights and understanding together. They ask questions that make you think deeper, share perspectives that challenge your assumptions, and create safe spaces for you to explore ideas you might not feel comfortable discussing with others. This intellectual stimulation activates reward pathways in your brain, similar to how solving puzzles or learning new skills does. You walk away feeling mentally energized, philosophically enriched, and often with a broader perspective on life that can be genuinely transformative. 12. The healing effect. How INFJs help you process trauma and pain. Perhaps one of the most powerful drug-like effects of being around INFJs is their ability to help you heal from past wounds and traumas. They create incredibly safe spaces for emotional processing, and their non-judgmental presence can help you work through difficult experiences in ways that feel therapeutic. INFJs don't try to fix you or minimize your pain. Instead, they sit with you in your difficult emotions, validate your experiences, and help you process things at your own pace. This kind of emotional support triggers the release of healing hormones and neurotransmitters that actually help your brain recover from trauma. The result is that you often feel lighter, clearer, and more at peace after difficult conversations with INFJs. It's like they've helped you carry some of your emotional burden, making it easier for you to move forward and heal. 13. The growth catalyst. How INFJs inspire personal development. INFJs have this incredible ability to see your potential, often before you see it yourself. They notice your strengths, talents, and possibilities, and they have a way of reflecting these back to you that inspires growth and self-improvement. This inspiration can feel like a natural high because growth and progress are inherently rewarding to the human psyche. When an INFJ believes in you and sees your potential, it can ignite a fire of motivation and self-confidence that propels you toward positive change. They don't push or pressure. They simply hold space for your growth and reflect back the possibilities they see in you. This growth-oriented mindset is contagious. Being around someone who's constantly evolving and encouraging evolution in others can make you want to become the best version of yourself. It's like they're providing a constant stream of inspiration and motivation that keeps you moving forward. 14. The energy exchange. Understanding the INFJ giver-receiver dynamic. Here's something important to understand about the INFJ drug effect. It's not a one-way street. While being around INFJs can feel amazing, these interactions are actually energy exchanges. INFJs are giving so much of themselves in these deep connections that they often need time alone to recharge and process. Understanding this dynamic is crucial because it helps explain why INFJ relationships can feel so intense and meaningful. They're not just casually interacting with you. They're investing significant emotional and mental energy into understanding and connecting with you. This investment is part of what makes the experience feel so powerful and drug-like. The best relationships with INFJs are those where this energy exchange is balanced and mutual. When you can give back some of the understanding, validation, and deep connection that they provide, it creates a sustainable and healthy dynamic that benefits everyone involved. 15. The long-term effects. How INFJ relationships change you. Unlike temporary highs that fade quickly, the effects of meaningful relationships with INFJs can last a lifetime. They don't just make you feel good in the moment. They actually help you develop better emotional intelligence, deeper self-awareness, and stronger relationship skills that benefit all areas of your life. Many people report that after forming close relationships with INFJs, they become better listeners, more empathetic friends, and more authentic versions of themselves. It's like the INFJ's emotional intelligence and authenticity rub off on you, creating lasting positive changes in how you relate to others and yourself. These long-term effects can include increased self-confidence, better emotional regulation, improved communication skills, and a deeper understanding of your own values and goals. In essence, INFJs don't just provide temporary highs. They can catalyze permanent positive changes in your life. Conclusion. So, is being around an INFJ really like being on drugs? In many ways, yes, but in the healthiest possible sense. INFJs trigger natural neurochemical responses that make you feel understood, validated, inspired, and connected in ways that can be genuinely transformative. They provide what psychologists call corrective emotional experiences that can heal old wounds and inspire new growth. The key difference between the INFJ high and artificial substances is that INFJ relationships actually make you better, stronger, and more authentic over time. They don't create dependency or dysfunction. They create growth, healing, and deeper self-understanding. If you've been lucky enough to have an INFJ in your life, you know exactly what we're talking about. These rare individuals have a gift for seeing and bringing out the best in others, creating connections that feel almost magical in their depth and authenticity. Just remember that INFJs are human too, with their own needs, boundaries, and challenges. The best way to maintain these precious relationships is to appreciate the gift they offer while also being mindful of the energy and care they invest in others. When we approach INFJ relationships with gratitude, respect, and reciprocity, we create connections that can last a lifetime and continue providing that natural high that makes life so much richer and more meaningful. The next time you meet someone who makes you feel like you're floating on air just by being yourself around them, pay attention. You might just have encountered one of these rare and wonderful souls. And trust me, that's a high worth cherishing.